Hi everybody, it's crazy, it's Monday, and it's time for the UPBGE video of the week. Now, before I get started, gotta give a shout out to my trusted, because you guys rock. To my crazy fam, I love you guys. And to my patrons, thank you for your continued support. Now, we are up to episode number 56, and we left off last week with iTaSC Okay, so we're going to continue on from there. I do have a Blender window pulled up. If we go ahead and go through with that, I always try to keep one up. Okay, so let's get started. And if you're following along with me in the book, if you haven't gotten the book, right down there in the descriptions, guys, it's right down in there. Look for the Game Engine book. It's right down in there. It gives you a link to the PDF and the actual web page that you can get all the information you need to be able to do this book. Okay, so go there, check it out. Also check out a few other things down in the description. It's in every single one of my videos. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so iTaSC Additionally, you can change the iKSolver in the armature panel. To use iTaSC, this name stands for Instantaneous Task Specification Using Constraints. Okay, so I guess instantaneous is IT. No? How do they get it like that for? I don't know. But anywho, that's the way they got it spelled. This iKSolver was developed especially for robotics, but can be used as a more advanced replacement for the old IK legacy solver. The calculation or the armature structure is calculated on the fly, based on the predefined constraints and a dynamic target. It's a very powerful system, but not directly related to the more traditional armature, bones, pose animation paradigm. No keyframes are required here. The iTaSC solver is faster than the legacy one and definitely better at handling real dynamic constraints. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down on there. If I'll keep on following through with me, I'm going to kick it back over here so you can see the solver that it's talking about. Let me switch back over to here. Here you go. Okay, so what it's talking about is this right here. Inverse kinematics, you can use the iTaSC solver for that. So if I go over here, did I get this to bones? Oh, I gotta bring up a bone one. Okay, let's see. I'll go ahead and bring up that one. Yes, we'll just do this with this other arm again. Yep, there we go. Okay, all right. So it's talking about over here in this panel. Okay, it's down by display. So you get display. I guess if you click on it, yeah, it should. Maybe I have to go into here. Unlock layers, IK. There it is, inverse kinematics. So you have to go into your bone menu, okay, and then come down here to inverse kinematics, okay. And being that UPBGE uses since it's up to 0.2.5 and actually up to 3.0 now, actually probably 3.1, but they actually automatically use the iTaSC solver for it. Okay, so that's why you won't see it there. But if you go into old legacy Blender, which is 2.79B, okay, you all remember this one. Everybody knows this one. Okay. If you go into that and then you come over here, I have to add a bone. So hit Shift A. Oops, no, not Shift F. Sorry, my bad. Shift A. Add armature single bone. Once you do that, you'll get the little bone up here and your armature information. You go down here, and hopefully it won't make a liar out of me. Where is inverse kinematics? There it is. Okay, it's right here, inverse kinematics. This one is not on the bone, but it's on the armature. Okay, now if you see iKSolver, it's got standard, then it's got iTaSC. Okay, a little bit different than the one that they have in the book because that one's built on a later version. Oh, actually, that's built on a new, older version. But of course, I'm not in Blender game. Let's see if that does anything different. Animation, simulation. No. Huh. Weird. Okay, well this is different than the normal. And it has two other kind of solvers as well. But the iTaSC solver in UPBGE, this one right here, is automatically set to that solver, from what I know of. Okay, and so you also get these stiffnesses that we talked about earlier in the previous episode. I'll probably pop a little thing maybe up here or up here. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Alright, but we'll kick over to this one. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so this is the same thing as over in the other one, but since it's automatically put in inverse schematics, then just all you see is this now. So it should work just fine. Alright, let's go back over here. Okay, the other bone constraints are great to help you animate your armature, but they are not as efficient in dealing with the real-time changes in the armature to produce dynamically plausible movement. If you are into robotics or simply want to explore more advanced settings in the solver, please refer to the official documentation. I'm going to switch back over here so you can see. Okay, this little link right here, I am going to click on it. It says open. Oh, you just click on it. And if I switch back over to here, it'll show you right here. Okay, this is right here is the source code for RoboticIKSolver. Okay. And you can just go through this page and take a look at it. It says that this page is in the archive, or search for similar content in the new code documentation pages. Now, if you're into 3.0 or 0.3, if you're in a BGE, that's what this is referring to, is the newest versions of Blender. You'll have to go to the archive in order to get to this guy here, the older version. So I would suggest hitting Control-C, copying it, and then coming over here and see if it's in there. Yeah, there it is. Okay, it did put it in there this time. Okay, so this got a lot of information on I can't even pronounce it myself. iTaSC solver. Okay. You know, I mean, it's got a lot of information to help you out with it if that's the way you want to go and you want to look more into it. From what it's saying, it seemed like it would be a better IK constraint or IK solver to make it work better for your animations. So I'm going to look into that myself because I think it's pretty good. But for the most part, you know, that's just it. It just tells you all about it and what it can and can't do, and how it can help you and how it can possibly hinder you. Just here, information is good. So I'll put the, you know, well, you'll have the book. Look in the book. It should be on page 24. But I will pop up a link in the description as well for that. Okay. All right. So let's go on to the next one here. Let's go ahead and minimize that. Okay. Now, of course, you have the stretch. Okay. And it says, Stretch 2. A stretched bone allows you to produce cartoon body transformations. Different from a scale bone, such as this, okay, a stretched one maintains its volume. The target bone needs to be completely isolated from and not connected at all to the constrained bone. It cannot be either a child or a parent. So be aware of that. That right there is very important when it comes to dealing with making like cartoonish type characters, and you want bone stretching to make them do the really long arms and stuff like that. Okay, so kind of keep that in mind. The target bone needs to be completely isolated from and not connected at all to the constrained bone. Okay, so the constrained bone cannot be a parent or child. Okay, it cannot be part of it at all. It's got to be separated from the whole thing. All right. in the book files, you can find an example of more advanced techniques that integrates stretch to IK and copy rotation bone constraints. Study it carefully. Further instructions are inside the file. Chapter 4, 2 cartoon arm blend. So let's go ahead and go to that. Open. Okay, and then I know that I seen it earlier today, so it goes art right here. You're going to go to your game engine book. You're going to go to the file, and you're going to go to chapter 4. Okay, and then you're going to come right down here to the cartoon. It should be number 2. Okay, and when you click that one, there we go. Now you got the cartoon one. Okay, so it's a little bit different. Now, if you notice, that's the bone. There's a bone. And this is the bone that it's talking about. This cannot be connected to any of those. Okay? Now, the stretch 2 is when you add a constraint, which is right here. Okay? You go to constraint, and then you should have a stretch 2. If you hit stretch 2, you pick the armature that you want. Okay, you have a target bone. Okay, and then once you get the target, it'll give you a bone to do. So if I hit this as target, okay, which would be the arm, you notice how bad it messes up. Okay, so whichever one you pick, be careful. See, we'll try that one, and we'll do the bone, and it'll be target. Okay, but this does not have a target, so I'm not going to do that because they've already done all that. Because this is all set in conjunction with itself. It's already got the information it needs. So when you have that, because it should be this one right here. So as you see, the bone now stretches. Okay, instead of doing like the other bone would do and go out of whack. Okay, now we'll also bring that up too. Hit open. Let's go back to that one. That's this one right here. Okay, if you grab this bone right here and hit grab, you'll notice that it won't do anything. And if you grab the regular bone, okay, and try to stretch it, it won't stretch because it's got the constraints on it. It will not allow it to go but a certain way. Okay. So a lot of people don't really understand that. That's the whole understanding right there. When you grab a hold of this one, it actually will stretch, so kind of like a cartoon character would. And it's also really good, and I'll give you this little hint, it's really good for ragdoll effects. Okay, I kind of learned this one by looking at the Timster. He did one on some ragdoll effects. If you'd like to go check his page out, to the description, y'all. All these names are in the description. Everything that has to do with game development and a lot of the stuff that you do with characters, making people and places and things. All those people that I look to and I look at and and learn from are all in the description. I keep them all down in there. Okay. See, where are we getting up to? Yeah, we're up to about 13 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and let me switch back over to here. Okay, I'm going to leave it on relationship, okay, because that's another one. This one, the IK constraints and everything that has to do with bones are very massive. So that's why I'm taking my time with them and explaining them a little bit more. Since we're doing animations, it's one of the things you're going to have to look to. Okay, and I'm going to touch base on somebody who left a comment about how do you do day and night cycles. I've been talking with a buddy of mine. I'm still trying to get a little bit more information on it. So hang in there, bud, okay? I will get back with you. I have not forgotten about you. I still got to learn a little bit about it because I'm not going to just throw that information out there for you because I don't know it. But I do know a few people who do day and night cycles and know how to do them well. And I will pick their brains and I will get back with you. Okay, so let me go ahead and kick it over to here. We'll go ahead and leave it there. We're going to end on page 25, about halfway down the page. Okay, you can look for the 2 cartoon arm and you can play with it a little bit and have fun and try to figure it out a little bit. Read up on the book. If you get ahead of me, that's fine. You know, I prefer you do get a little bit ahead so you can read and understand what, you know, what you're getting into, because sometimes I'll read it a couple times to myself and I'll mess up my video, and I'll redo it again and I'll have a better understanding of it. So sometimes it's a little bit better to read a little bit forward, okay? So that's what we got for this week. We'll see y'all next week.